Recently, I've been going on a 3D animated movie binge that began shortly after I'd finished watching Whitesnake. Due to this, I stumbled across various other titles, included, but not limited to, Red Shoes and the Seven Dwarfs movie, which I enjoyed more than I thought I would. It reminded me somewhat of Shrek. Regardless, I'll admit I was somewhat shocked to learn that they had adapted the movie into a mobile game when the company had informed us of their interest in sponsoring a look at their newly released title, Red Shoes Would Bear World. After taking a quick look at the game via the official trailer, the game looked interesting enough to warrant a look, and thus we decided to accept it and try it out for ourselves. If this looks like something you might be interested in, I urge you to go ahead and click that link in the description and pinned comment below to be taken directly to the game. Now, let's talk about what to expect if you were to play Red Shoes Would Bear World. I feel like I'd be doing the game a disservice if I didn't immediately point out that the iconic characters from the movie would be featured within the game. However, this time, Red Shoes, or Snow White, has gotten a new magic broom. There's still Merlin, of course, and now we even have Little Red Riding Hood joining our band of misfits. Aesthetically, the developers did an exceptional job at adapting the characters as the models at present very closely resemble the actual movie. I dare say it would be a little unusual if they looked nothing like we'd come to recognize them as. The graphical style is appealing, albeit not the best you'll come across. The scenery is very nicely done, and areas vary a lot from chapter to chapter to keep things fresh and interesting while playing. The game itself is set after the events of the movie, but don't dismay. If you've never gotten around to watching it, you can still enjoy the gameplay aspects of the game. Although the general enjoyment of the game and personalized skills and meaningful Easter eggs found within the game may be overlooked without the movie as a reference. With that in mind, however, if you're a fan of 3D movies, then I urge you to check it out. It's quirky and fun. Now, Red Shoes Would Bear World's levels are continuous, which keeps the enjoyment ever flowing as you're just thrown from level to level without break, with each map having a large quantity of challenging monsters to defeat in real time, utilizing an action combat system. Yes, this is another game that requires active participation. I'm loving this trend. Could it be that 2021 ushers in a new age of mobile games? Probably not, as there's only 2 months left. But hey, here's hoping for the best in 2022. I will mention that the levels do promote a sense of repetition at times, but I believe therein lies its charm, a consistent and never-ending fight. However, if you're expecting this to be a walk in the park, then you'd be very wrong. Let me preface this by stating that the game can be very challenging at times. Death is around every corner for the unprepared. So if you're looking for a new and challenging experience to stretch your fingertips and flex your ocular sockets, then this might be that very game. Monsters come from all angles, ready to end your journey short before it ever even started. You've been warned. If I'm being honest, I enjoyed the difficulty, as mobile games tend to want you to just watch the game with a rather large absence of the actual playing aspect. Thus, having a challenging experience with a mobile game is not only refreshing, but enjoyable. Keep in mind, however, this game was just released, and thus there isn't a whole lot of characters to pick between or levels to go through. Aside from that though, the characters do have different costumes that change their playstyle and skills, with each character having 3 skills in total per at their disposal. So despite the small roster, there's still a good amount of variation to be found. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, while you're fighting through these challenging battles, you're helped by none other than the 7 themselves. Besides just tackling level after level, obliterating your enemies with devastating abilities, you can also enter World Mode, which is an expanded version of the typical levels you've done. However, instead of the level being completed when all of the monsters are defeated, they simply keep respawning additional waves, allowing you to grind until your heart's content through the ever-addicting combat. You can, however, also idle this if you're busy and/or working, and thus unable to grind. World Mode allows you to collect gear, XP, and even rune shards, which is very handy for this game. Something to note, however, you can get auto-looting for a whole hour free by simply watching an ad, which you can do a total of 5 times per day. This is of course perfect for me as I have no life, and watching an ad here and there realistically doesn't affect me. So joke's on you, I'm immune to ads. You're also capable of participating in large boss raids, where you engage enormous and challenging bosses, which was kind of fun to participate in, if I'm being honest. All in all, I enjoyed my time playing through Red Shoes Woodbear World. The combat was addictive and very challenging, which might not be appealing to everyone, but like always, there are ways to make the game easier via the in-game store, although I relished the challenge. The world mode itself is a nice feature, allowing for automated playing for simply just grinding away. And that is a perfectly acceptable way of adding auto features, unlike other mobile titles where there's actually no point in playing them. Either way, if this looks like something that you're interested in, then you can use the link within the description box and pinned comment and start enjoying your adventure with the characters from Red Shoes Woodbear World.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh, everyone who didn't believe